My name is Charles Moser. I'm the managing partner for the Dental Science Alliance, and I am super thrilled today to have with me on this recording, on this video, Kara Kelly. Now, Kara Kelly is a coach for the Dental Science Alliance, and her area of expertise is HR. Okay, next question that I get a lot of time is, I don't really have an employee manual. Do
Mm.
I need an employee manual? First question. Are they valuable and are they mandatory?
Do you need one? Yes. It does help to have everybody on the same page, whether you are a single practice location with two employees or you're a multi-practice location in multiple states with hundreds of employees, which I have seen practices that have 10 locations and 75 plus employees that are now subject to, Family Medical Leave Act, for example, and they don't have any documentation hardly. As far as whether or not they're mandatory, it's not mandatory that they specifically have it in a handbook format, but most of the states are going to have some level of compliance with notices and whether or not they're updated. You're going to be asked by your unemployment office if you have any written policies on XYZ whenever you discipline somebody and potentially terminate somebody. There's a lot of reasons that you should have an employee handbook, even though that's not like a top line federal or state requirement that says employers have to have an employee handbook. Definitely, yes, you should, however. And I recommend it being a handbook that's created by somebody who actually understands both the compliance side and the dental side. I've seen amazing handbooks from HR consultants. I've seen amazing handbooks from attorneys. I have not seen amazing handbooks from certain practice management consultants that may be using other handbooks that don't understand the compliance side. I've even seen some attorneys that do the same thing. They kind of throw out this templated version for the state that they are in, and somebody else uses it for their practice when the head count doesn't apply, when the state regulations don't apply. Somebody just went in and changed the state name. That doesn't make it state specific. I also always recommend having one that's a comprehensive handbook. If you look at a lot of payroll software handbook versions, for example, you'll go through and you'll see that there's policies and they'll say they're state specific, but there's like one or two lines in that particular policy, and it doesn't really cover everything that you would need. It's also not dental specific. And on top of that, it's also something that they give it to you in a format that you can go in and make changes, which sounds great, except that if you're the one making the changes and you don't know what you're changing and it's not compliant anymore, all of that is completely wasted effort. So having an advisor actually look at it who understands, like I said, both dentistry as well as the compliance for your specific state and your specific headcount is absolutely critical when you're putting a handbook together. Think about how much time you end up wasting on a DIY version where you or you've assigned an office manager or some other executive at your corporation to put together a handbook, and they don't know what they're doing. So they waste 3 or 4 times what they should by going and having to do all of the research for all of the things, and they still might not get it right or done.
I'm so guilty of that. I mean, I'm so cheap that my wallet squeaks when it opens, and so I always figure I can DIY it myself.
I had a
I don't,
practice delegate it to their
yeah.
office manager. She spent 2 full weeks worth of hours, 80 hours building out this handbook, and it still wasn't done. And it wasn't done right, the bit that was done. And I was like, look, you could have paid me a fraction of what you paid her. It would have been done in an nth of the time, and it would have been done correctly.
And by the way, you can't write in your employee manual that CE events will not be paid. You just can't put it
Correct.
in an employee manual and make it your law. There's other laws that you have to comply with.
Correct. If you're going to change the rate, which has to at least hit minimum wage at the federal and state level, wherever you're at, if you're going to change the rate for CE, you can have a separate document that they have to sign in advance of the training to say that they're willing to work at that lower rate. But yeah, I would not have that specifically in the handbook.
Interesting. Well, I mean, Kara, this has been absolutely fantastic. Clinical HR is the name of your company, right?
Yes, it is.
And you are a coach for the Dental Science Alliance as well.
I am a very proud coach of the Dental Science Alliance.
We love having you. We will do this again and we will tackle some more of the really, really important questions out there that owners need to know about their HR.